Okay, so we're here with Mandy today. She's been a client at MadLab for how long?
Almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years, so you'll be a tribal elder this year?
Yeah.
That's exciting. And we're just going to hear like a few little random stories and maybe some things that MadLab's done to help her. So, first of all, I wanted to know, what is your name? It's Morenda. When did you start? So, almost 5 years ago now. How did you come into MadLab?
Many of you guys know Rico from MadLab, and he had done CrossFit just a year and a bit before me, and I met him, and he brought me in through the Youth Warriors program. So that was like ages ago.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's how I found myself in.
Yeah.
Was through him.
And then, what has been your biggest thing that's kept you here for 5 years?
Good question. Definitely like how we don't repeat, like whereas other sports, it's like for dance, we'd always do the same warm up. We'd always do like, you know what I mean? Like it's so repetitive, you're doing the same thing every day. Same with a lot of other sports. It was super repetitive and just focused on like one thing. And I've always been really athletic. Like I've done many different sports. So that, like it was like one sport, boring, move on to the next one, done it, good, next one. And then I found like I really wanted to always do weightlifting and like things like that and like CrossFit. But then I tried obviously the Youth Warriors program, and I was here for quite a few years, and it just wasn't the same every single day. It was always something different, and there was always something new to learn. Constantly, you know, trying to better yourself in different ways, like in all areas, not just mentally and physically, but just like with your community too. So that's what stuck.
That's really cool. All right, so before you share like your favorite story or moment, I have just a couple of random questions for you. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food would definitely be like an Italian, whether it's pizza or pasta. I always lean towards those.
Both good choices.
Yeah.
What is something you do to treat yourself? Like if you're gonna go out and have a treat, like what would you be doing?
I really like, whenever I treat myself, I like going to like gelato. I like frozen yogurt kind of things. I don't know, I'm a sucker for cold things to eat.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's one thing you cannot live without?
My dog. It would be my dog.
Yeah.
I know, I've always been thinking about it, but anyways, my dog.
And then sort of akin to coming with sort of how MadLab has helped you in everything, what is like your biggest accomplishment at MadLab? And yeah.
Biggest accomplishment here. It's definitely been like a huge journey. Like 5 years went so quick, but I remember my first MadLab in-house tournament. Like I've done Nuts Cup and I've got a little bit of a feel for like competing and doing like all that fun stuff, just pushing myself a little bit further than I would in a regular basis in the gym. And Natalie was amazing. She was like, as soon as I walked in, she was one of the first people I saw about 4.5 years ago. And then I'd come over here and do my own thing, but I'd always see her. So anyway, she was my leader for that. And I just was overwhelmed with learning, like kind of under her and by her and with her, of course. And just coming in second, first time competing for MadLab was like amazing. It was a huge accomplishment for me.
That was cool. You guys did awesome. I remember that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was really, really
huge
cool.
confidence booster and just Tom cracking jokes all the time. It was perfect. I learned a lot, and it was like one of my big success stories.
That's really cool. Or it could just be a really funny story.
There's definitely a lot. Like so many things are just coming through my mind. Like we do so much. Whether it be like the beach day, which last year was my first year doing the beach day with you guys. It was just super funny kind of seeing more character on top of what we see here and seeing people, you know. But I don't know, like my biggest story was when Charlie was around. I mean, I'm taking it back to the beginning. He just changed my life. You know, the Youth Warriors program was dedicated to helping, you know, youth at risk, and I started pretty young with Enrico and a handful of our other friends. And yeah, no, I always think back to those days and always will. Like, even if, I don't know, let's say one day I'll make it to regionals, it'll always be like the moment that I started that I'll always think back to, and I really appreciate that, so.
How did, like, coming through the Youth Warriors, how did that change your life, like, physically, mentally, socially, community-based? Like, what was going on for you, and, like, how has this place changed your life in that sense?
I've always physically, it wasn't a problem for me. I don't have like a crazy, transition story. I was always really athletic, but coming into this and having the drive that I had was great, but having the support that I had was even better for me mentally. There's a lot of people that suffer from, mental illness. A lot of people in my family do. Luckily, I don't. But having to deal with that is a challenge in Vancouver. And just coming here, like the things that Charlie would ask in Circle Question were so far deep, and just like he was like kind of father figure, kind of like a total coach. And all the coaches here do an amazing job, just like him. Like he was really great. Mentally, physically, got it down, and just having like the community and the support and like lifelong friendships that I have here that I've had back in the day and still have. Seeing new faces as well, like just like adding to the family is definitely super, super helpful. It's a lot more than just physical, so yeah.
That's awesome. Anything else you want to share?
Nope.